Hi, I'm Rennie G. I am a recovery specialist, a musician, composer, and I work at Colmac.
Hi, I'm Tony Massey. I'm an addiction medicine specialist at Colmac Clinic. And I'm Doc.
And I'm Rock.
All right.
So
All right, ready?
We have a question.
We have a question.
Out of the box of many.
And this one's from Jay. Jay, thanks again for writing in. Okay, so Jay says, I'm on Suboxone, which I don't know if you noticed that's a brand name for buprenorphine. The past 6 months, I've not used any heroin.
Good job.
Yeah. That's great. 6 months that's a substantial amount for someone who's everyday using. You know what I'm talking about. So
no doubt.
People are telling me I'm not clean. Is that true?
And I'm pretty sure I know who's telling him that. Not individually, but as a group.
I didn't me telling him that.
No, me neither. Definitely not. Wow. Anything that you can do to not use illegal drugs and shoot things into your veins is a good idea. But if you want to talk specifically about Suboxone, I have a sponsee who shall remain nameless, who is on not Suboxone but another maintenance program. And my man has been sober from illegal drugs and alcohol for over 2 years. He works steps. He works very hard on his recovery. He's a great guy. Love him. And in my opinion, he's clean. And in his opinion, he's clean. It says right in the one of the 12-step group's pamphlets that there's a pamphlet that says in times of illness that says there are times in your recovery where you may need to take pain relievers. If I have a spinal surgery, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be taking some type of opiate.
Yeah.
So these things are going to occur. Is he taking it to according to direction? If Jay is buying it off the street from a guy named Slim, I'm not sure if he's sober.
Yeah, that would be Jay, we didn't clarify that,
Right, I'm going to clarify that. If Slim is your guy, you are not clean.
Out.
But if Dr. Tony Massey is your guy, and if you're in a program and this is a medical situation or a psychiatric situation where somebody who is allowed to write you a prescription and you're working with a therapist and this is for drug replacement therapy, you are absolutely clean. Doesn't mean you don't have to work on yourself. Doesn't mean that Suboxone is going to keep you sober forever. It's meant to get you past the crucial points, and then you wean off it, and then you have a clean life. That's pretty clear?
Yeah. No, and when I think of what drugs cause addiction, and this is what the recovery community, and rightfully so, doesn't. You don't want people to be taking drugs that cause addiction. And so, but I look at this as kind of a set of behaviors with it.
Yes.
Someone's active in their addiction. That generally there's problems with telling the truth all the time. There's sort of this honesty, kind of a deficit. And then sometimes people have relationship problems, or a lot of times relationships kind of go south.
Yeah.
Work doesn't, some issues at work, or financial stuff. And then health,
spiritual health.
Spiritual health. It's a problem of loss. You lose your car keys, you lose your checking account,
Right.
You lose your wife, your house.
But you gain a lot. You gain a lot of loneliness.
You gain a lot
of trouble.
Yeah,
legal problems. Yeah.
But those are the substances that lead to addiction. And really, it's interesting that a medicine like Suboxone and the other Zubsolv, Subutex, generic forms as well. They what I've seen is kind of the opposite tracking of behavior. People tend to become more honest, tend to repair relationships, tend to get back to being productive citizens. And
now, would you attribute that to the drug alone, or would you attribute that to maybe the program associated with the drug?
I think I would say it's probably a combination, because we've certainly done these programs without Suboxone and then with Suboxone and kind of done head-to-head comparisons, and it looks like the groups with Suboxone kind of do a little bit better than the groups without Suboxone.
Right.
That's not to say that the recovery programs, treatment, the community-based supports aren't important. It's perhaps with a medicine like Suboxone, for some people, that just helps access those supports and make better use of them.
Right. Stabilizes their lives a little bit.
Yeah. which sort of leads to kind of a similar thing. I mean, people would say the same thing about, say, antabuse, or
Mhm.
like or other medicines like for alcohol.
I've heard antabuse, and
Yeah.
people call it a crutch.
Yeah, with the crutch
If I'm
this,
not going
crutch
to drink.
that.
I'm not going to drink. And blah, blah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact is, if someone's getting their life back in order, and this helps,
why not?
yeah. Well, what's the issue? Or antidepressants. There was a time when
But that's
people
an
would say
issue
that,
still.
yeah, that you're not really hacking it if you're taking an antidepressant that's
Right.
somehow weak or whatever, and you can't just kind of pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you,
Sounds a little Middle Ages
Somebody-
to me.
yeah, I mean, lives have been saved with these medications.
Absolutely.
Literally. I mean, it's like, and then you talk about the Suboxone and buprenorphine, is a treatment. The disease that's being treated is a fatal disease. I mean,
Sure.
more
It's chronic. It's fatal.
more people die of heroin overdose than die of all causes of murder. I mean,
Hmm.
it's like serious stuff. This
Yeah,
is not,
that's pretty heavy.
yeah. So, I mean, if you're saving lives and people are getting, kind of their life and relationships and everything back in order, I don't know. I mean,
I say it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I say he's clean.
I'm,
Can we two thumbs up for Jay being
I would
clean?
give, there'd be 4 thumbs up. You gotta-
And a foot.
Look, stay with it.
Absolutely.
Stay with recovery. And again, it's one of those things. If you're getting some value out of the recovery network you're in, then take that value. But if you're hearing some negative stuff, just leave that behind.
Yep.
You
I agree.
You don't have to hold on to everything everyone says.
Yep.
All right.
Good deal.
All right.
All right. I'm Rock.
And I'm Doc.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah. All right.